movies, television, and what's streaming. I'm your host, Jason, and joining me as always, a man who knows what is dead may never die. Ernie, how you doing?
Hello, my friends. I'm doing great, dude. Thank you for the lovely introduction. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, dude. Happy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's the end of January. We are back. We are back for a new episode, first of 2024. I have to say I've missed this. I know it's been a while. We had a little bit of a break. We were kind of like refactoring what we wanted to do, getting a little me time, a lot of things has happened in the world of movie news, and I thought we gotta get back. But how are you, bro?
I'm doing great, dude. I'm glad to be back. I think for a while. I mean, those who don't know, I was sick, so it kind of sucked because I couldn't like use my voice. Like I lost my voice, and obviously we have to use it when we talk and stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it was like the worst feeling not being able to like talk to people. I think we went to go see a movie. And when we were out there, I was like, Jason, listen, I want to tell you more about that movie. I think we went to go see. What did we go see?
No.
I think
no. Migration.
It might have been Night Swim or something like that.
Oh yeah, Night Swim.
It was like Night Swim or something, and I really wanted to get into it with you, and then I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I sound like Ozzy Osbourne.
No, dude, this guy sounds like the Godfather. I just want to tell you something.
Yeah, it's
I'm
funny.
ready for the movie.
That's what one of my buddies said too, and I was like, oh my gosh, so funny.
Entertain me. Oh, dude, you sound better today. I think you sound pretty good.
No, definitely. I feel a lot better. I was just so like tired of it, and it was like one of those things where it was like I was sick for a while, and like I'm like not sick now, but I'm like slowly getting out of it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're still sick, but you're like at the end of it. And I keep telling people I'm like at 80%. And I've been at 80% for a while. I was like, Jesus Louise.
That's what's been happening, bro. Like, I think my dad had the same thing. It was like a cough, like in the back of his throat. And like, it wouldn't go away. Like, it was just there. And it took him like a couple months to get rid of it.
Jeez, I don't know. Louise. Don't even tell me that, dude. That sucks.
It's the COVID. They're experimenting on us.
Probably. Dang. This is the conspiracy theory cast.
The conspiracy cast. Dang. We got to get into this. But we got a lot of cool news to cover this week. There's a lot. Like, I don't even know where to start. First, we should say we're going to try and do more consistent streamings on Thursdays now. I think this is kind of our plan, is like Thursday nights, 9 o'clock Pacific Coast time. If you're here, jump on. Let's hang out. We got a lot of movie news to cover. We're going to go through box office breakdown, and we got some Book of Eli news. We got some I put in a cool one for like Splash Mountain. We got some Kathleen Kennedy news. It's gonna be a fun time. I think you'll have fun. Ernie, what have you been watching lately? Before we jump in,
dude, I've been watching a lot of stuff recently. For some reason, I've been able to make the time to like do a bunch of like just viewing of movies and shows. Like I watched Iron Claw. I saw the Ted series. I saw Saltburn. Yeah, it was really great. I saw Barbie again. For whatever reason, I just was like, I want to watch it again because of the
how was it? The
nomination
second
things.
viewing.
It was okay. It was good. It's a good movie. Like I enjoyed it, but I think it definitely still not for me. I think it's like it's enjoyable, but it's not for me. You know what I mean? And I think I'll just leave it like that. It's just it wasn't the best for me, but it has some great moments. I think like Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling really do a great job. It's just kind of weird that they didn't get nominated, which we'll get into. I think it's one of the topics we have for the Oscar nominations. But
is it? Okay, cool. I wanted to talk about it.
No, we definitely can. And then I also saw something really random. Oh, yeah, I saw Saltburn. I don't know if I had said that. But it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed that. I've been like slowly trying to go through all the Oscar movies that have just came out and got nominated. I've been trying to do that. So I think the next one I'm going to watch is oh my gosh, it's a Korean movie. I think Past Lives it's called. Yeah, that's the one that I'm going to check out next. What about you, man? What have you been watching?
Oh yeah, Past Lives. Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. It's been on my list, and I think is it streaming now? It might be streaming. I don't remember, but it might be on Amazon.
Yeah, it's already streaming already. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to watch that one. I heard good things. Saltburn, I don't know if I want to watch it. I heard it's good, but I heard it's like I don't know. I think I got it spoiled. Like I kind of know what's gonna happen, and it's like maybe. But I kind of want to do a spoiler review of that one. That one might be fun to do, like a spoiler cast. But yeah, let us know.
I mean, we could try, but it's.
He's like, I don't want to do it.
No, I mean, I would do it. I really like the movie. I think it's definitely worth a watch. But it sucks because a lot of the stuff that's been spoiled for you, it's because of, because the scenes are pretty wild of the things that happen in the movie. So like I think everyone's talking about it, and I hate that because it's like I didn't get that spoiled for me. Like when I watched the movie, it's like I watched it. Me and my wife actually watched it, and I remember being like, wow, this is wild. And then so you'll like talk to people, and to not ruin it, like, do you remember this scene? What about this scene? And it's and they're so far fetched, bro. Like they're shocking, I get it,
right? The shock
yeah, a little bit in some points, but I think overall it's a good movie. I think Barry and Jacob Elordi did a fantastic job, like playing off like this little bromance that they kind of carried with each other. It worked really well. But yeah, I don't know. I recommend it, man. It's a really good movie.
Would you say I was the Barry or I was the James?
Did you? I think.
You were the Barry.
I'm gonna say I'm the Barry, dude. You're the James.
I'll be the James. So I still haven't seen it, so I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah, no, I don't think you want. I mean, I took the one that probably is the worst character. I mean, in terms of what he does, but.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I've seen it. I don't want to spoil it for people. I mean, I've read what I pretty much know what the going is on. It's one of those movies where. But the thing I heard was, Did you watch Poor Things? I didn't watch Poor Things either.
No, that's one that I have to watch too. But I don't want to.
Yeah, because when I was going down that rabbit hole of like Saltburn, like, do I want to watch it or not? People were saying like that Saltburn is like tame compared to Poor Things, and I was like, really? And somebody in the comments was saying like, we went to watch this movie, Poor Things, on Christmas with my parents, and nobody talked on the ride home, and it was super awkward. I was like, okay,
really?
maybe that's. Yeah,
I don't
adding it to the list. No.
I know, definitely no, but I don't know anything about that movie. Like I don't know. Obviously, I'm a stone, but I don't know like what the movie is about. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw like for instance, there's a movie with Joaquin Phoenix. I think it's one of the A24 movies or whatever, something like that he made. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Lighthouse movie? No, wait, no. Joaquin
It's
Phoenix.
not the Lighthouse. It's like
he's
the
Bow is
scared or
Afraid?
something. Beau's Afraid or something. So I hadn't watched that movie, and I keep seeing clips of things that are like really weird about that movie, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. But for the reason I brought that up is like I haven't gotten anything like that for Poor Things. It's like just a lot of people talking.
Yeah, the way it's advertised, it's like, oh, it's Emma Stone, and it's gonna be like a fun, silly movie, right? Like she's portrayed as like a goofy, silly character, and you're like, oh, this will be just kind of a fanciful romp, but there's a lot of weird stuff in it, I guess. The Bow is Afraid is the same director as Hereditary, I think.
Oh,
He's
okay.
That dude. And I'm always kind of like, I don't know about this guy.
I mean,
I'm not his biggest fan, so I never watched
it. I mean, Hereditary was a good movie. My wife put it on the other day, and it's really, really creepy. I think he does a good job, like, setting up that tone, but I mean, from what I've seen, it says it's a rom-com, right? It's a rom-com, like Poor Things. But, like, from what you're telling me,
it makes it seem like a rom-com?
No, I saw someone, it said, like, it was a rom-com or something like that I had read, and now that you're telling me, I'm like, I wonder what the heck it is. Like,
I could tell you, but I don't want to spoil it for.
I mean, you could tell me off the cast, probably, because I really don't care.
I was telling my wife because she was like, "Are we gonna go watch it?" And I was like, "Do you want to watch it?" Like I was telling her about it. She's like, "Oh, never mind."
He's like, "I don't really care to watch it." You should have told her.
Yeah, but all right, moving on because let's talk about movies that that are coming out that we are excited for. Perhaps. Do we want to go into the box office real quick? Let's talk about.
Yeah, please, let's.
Well, let me just pull up the numbers real quick just to see, because. So this is the box office for today. Let's go to the weekly chart, and it looks like Mean Girls is number 1 currently for the week, making 38 million in its first week. The Beekeeper is actually doing pretty good, dude. The Beekeeper is what we saw when we were having that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. There was Beekeeper. Yeah,
Beekeeper, dude, was solid. I liked it.
that was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I think it surprised me. I thought it was gonna be a lot sillier than it was, and there was silly moments. Don't get me wrong, but it was overall like a good little action film.
It was Jason Statham being Jason Statham. Like if you like his kind of like flavor of campy action movies, it was up my alley. I was having fun with it. But yeah, so The Beekeeper is number 2, and then Wonka is still going strong at number 3. That movie's made 180 million. Is that million? 180 $1 million in its 5th week, and it's still chugging along, dude. Hunger Games, it surpassed Hunger Games. If you see that down at like number 17, it's already outpaced Hunger Games, dude. Godzilla -1, still in the top 20. I just want to check and see what it's made. Oh, it's almost to 100 million.
Wow, that's
worldwide.
crazy.
And the budget. Remember the budget?
The budget's like.
Was it
I forget
10?
how much it was, but it was like pretty low. Like it wasn't like crazy. And I forget, they were talking about the people who worked on the CGI, and it was like a small team, nothing like super crazy. And it was just like
goes
to show
guys
you know
with computers like that were really passionate. Dude, I'm excited for I kind of want to watch the minus color version.
Oh yeah.
Just the pictures that they've been releasing, dude. I was like, oh, that looks more like menacing. Like he looks more terrifying. Kind of interested. Anyone But You, dude. Okay, Anyone But You is still like, people are still going to watch this. This is like the slow burn that just keeps building. That thing has made, like, even like this week, it's made 10 million just hanging out, because there's nothing to watch really. There's no like new movies coming out like next week. I don't believe, not until like, what is it, the first week of February that we start to see anything.
Yeah, I think we get Argyle, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, Argyle's gonna be yeah. Do you think that'll be?
Also like Anyone But You, I think from what I've heard, people like it. Like it's not like a hated movie. It's not like it's like, oh, because there's nothing to watch, we're gonna hate watch this. Like I heard people like actually enjoyed it. Like I think Sydney Sweeney right now, I think she just did a Hot Ones episode that just dropped.
Oh yeah.
So she's like popular, you know what I mean? Like I think people want to go see her.
But when it first came out, there wasn't a whole lot of, at least I don't think there wasn't a whole lot of popularity as far as like people were like, oh, I gotta watch this. It was more kind of just, oh, is it good or is it not good? I heard middle of the road things, to be honest. It was kind of like, it's okay. It's like a paint by numbers comedy.
I kind of want to watch it, but I haven't
haven't
had the time.
I know. I keep thinking like, well, my wife, she's not the biggest fan of the guy in it. And I saw that actually a couple comments online. Like people were saying that the lead guy, I forget his name, that they cast is not like that classic handsome. He's got kind of a different look to him, and people either like it or they don't like it, but it's a little polarizing.
Oh yeah, Glenn Powell. Yeah,
Glenn Powell, that's his name. Yeah, he's in Top Gun Maverick, right?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of played a swarmy character in that one too. Maybe that's what people's first impressions of him is. But maybe he does good in this one. I don't know. I'd give it a chance. But yeah, my wife's just like, nah, I don't want to go see it. You know what she wants to see is she wants to go watch Aquaman because she didn't get to see it with us.
That's right. She didn't get to see it, huh?
Yeah. So she's like, let's go watch Aquaman. But it just dropped on digital, right? Like I think you can rent it now.
I think so. I think on video. I mean, might as well just say it at home. There's no point of going out, but maybe it's like the better experience to be in the theater. But I mean, I would just stay home, dude.
Oh, you would stay home? I had a fun time with it. I didn't think it was
I
terrible.
definitely did, but I wouldn't go back. You know what I mean?
Oh, you wouldn't watch it twice. It was one and done.
Watch it twice. Yeah, it's like one and done.
But Hereditary? No, just kidding. Hereditary is one and done for me. But the Aquaman is number 6, and then Migration is still number 5. Nothing really surprising. I think Book of Clarence is their first week, and they only made 3 million total for their first week. I heard very mixed reviews on that one too. But it's like not that great.
I totally forgot that movie had come out.
Yeah, it just kind of came like all of a sudden, right?
Mm.
Kind of dropped without warning. Okay, but that wraps up the box office breakdown. I forgot I was not sharing when I was going through it, but you guys get the gist. So let's go into the next topic, which is you want to get into this one, Ernie? Maybe you could give a little introduction on.
Yeah, which one?
Reels.
Well, we're doing the behind the reels, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
The industry news here, dude. So one of the big news that just came out was the Book of Eli is getting a prequel series starting John Boyega. Now, he's supposed to be playing the young Eli. The original character was portrayed by Denzel Washington, the 2010 film. The timeline is like for the series is basically takes place around the 30 years before the events of the film that has been out. I think it still has the original creator, the original writer of the movie of the Book of Eli, Gary Whitta, will still be there, and I think he's going to executive produce the series. So I think he's going to have kind of a hands-on, which is cool because when you get people like that, it's like they're not going to change craziness, and they're trying to keep it as as to the original material as they can.
That's funny. They classify it as a neo-Western. Book of Eli takes place 30 years after the nuclear catastrophe that caused an ecocide.
Yeah. I mean, it sort of is. I mean, I haven't seen the Book of Eli in quite some time, but I'll be honest with you. When I first heard the news, I was like, I mean, I like John Boyega, but I wasn't like, this wasn't something I was looking for. It wasn't like something like, oh man, let me get Book of Eli like a prequel to it. Like I didn't care for that because like the way that movie kind of ends and is pretty cool, right? Like, well, I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, it's a great movie. I really liked. Like I've gone back and watched it several times. Super well done. It's hard to imagine where the story would go, right? Because we know, like, I feel like where we meet him is the most interesting point of his journey, and it seems like you said it's kind of counterproductive to go back and like, what are we going to see? Like how he becomes blind. I think isn't he?
I'm not sure if he becomes blind or he is blind from the get. Like I said, I haven't seen the movie in quite some time, so I wouldn't be able to tell you guys. But I mean, it just like
it seems like it was a good one and done. I mean, if they go back far enough, maybe I think it's just going to be centered around. Well, does it say? Is it going to be standard? It's a TV series, though.
Yeah, it's a TV series. It's centered around him 30 years before the events of the film. So I think like he's going to be a young guy going through this post-apocalyptic world. I don't remember when the post-apocalyptic like thing happened. Like I don't remember that. But I'm assuming that like maybe they'll show you how it went down, right?
Yeah. That's what according to Deadline, it says it revolves. Well, the movie revolves around Eli, which is played by Denzel Washington, and he's a nomad who fights his way across a ravaged post-apocalyptic America while protecting a sacred book that holds secrets to humanity's salvation. And then it says the TV series details are sketchy, but I hear it is set 30 years prior to the events of the film, which would put it around the time of the nuclear event or its immediate aftermath. So it's going to happen.
Oh, okay. So they'll probably show you like a glimpse of it and then it goes into it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it could be cool. I feel like when I first heard it, I was like, we don't need this. It feels like it's going to be like a Walking Dead, like a rehash sort of like a Walking Dead.
Yeah, where they just keep bringing up characters and all these things, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like to me. I feel like if John Boyega is trying to branch out from the Star Wars role, he really needs to tell a compelling story. I mean, it's great that he's like the lead in this because that kind of puts him in the spotlight. And I think he's a good actor. I think they had troubles with him on set and stuff like that. Like they're like not everybody's sold on John Boyega, but I think he could do good if he picks the right projects. And I'm not sure if this is the right project. Like I know you should take what you get, but like I'm just thinking as a creative tactic, like is this the best? Like, we don't need a prequel for this.
No,
But
we don't. But also, it feels like it's kind of a cash grab. It's it's based on something that was very popular and it did really well. So it's like,
yeah.
let's make more money off of it. But also, like, it's interesting because John Boyega is starring in a series. This isn't a movie, and it's interesting. Like back, I think we talked about this before, but like when you start doing like TV series or like television straight to moves television movies and stuff like that, some people think like, oh, your career is kind of done. But like with the streaming stuff going all like crazy and rampant, like in popularity, it could be a way to spark him to get even bigger roles after the fact. You know what I mean? Like could be a proving ground, especially because all eyes are going to be on him, and because Denzel did such a great job. Like, how are you going to top that? You know what I mean? Especially as a prequel. So
Yeah, I think it could be good. I think like what you're saying with him picking. Well, yeah, I think it all depends on the story, right? It all depends on like how good the story that they're telling. Because I mean, obviously, Book of Eli was successful, right? I think it had a 80 million budget and it made 157 worldwide. So it definitely made its money. If it's that same quality, I'm all for it. Like I think as long as we get that same level of what we got in the movie, I think it'll be fine. But like you're saying, is if it's just for a cash grab, just for the name, it's probably not going to do that great. But and speaking of cash grabs, do we have this in the in the notes as well about the one with Will Smith that's coming back too? Will Smith's going to do
I Am Legend, huh?
I Am Legend 2.
With Michael B. Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, with Michael B. Jordan. Do you think that's going to be a cash grab?
I mean, possibly. The thing is that like it's not a big deal that they're like trying to make more money off a certain IP and stuff. But the interesting thing is like, is it gonna do well? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it gonna have if there's a story worth telling? Is the big thing? I don't know.
I would be down because what they're doing is it's funny because whoever saw this movie in the theaters saw him. Spoiler. I mean, he dies at the end. Like it was a very like abrupt ending for him. And I mean, Will Smith spoils this in this interview. He basically says, if you are a deep fan or like a hardcore fan, you'll know that there's an alternative ending on the DVD, and that's what they're going off of, is because in the alternative ending he survives, and so that's how he's still alive in this sequel. It's kind of weird, right? Because I personally think both endings are good. I think that one ending's more focused on the monster's story, and one ending's more focused on him as a character. Like it's kind of like they each kind of complement the overall story. But it's kind of funny because everyone who saw this in theaters is gonna just be like, wait, how did he die? And they're gonna have to somehow justify it by, oh, there was actually this other ending.
They'll probably play into it in the movie, like show it off, like what went down, right? Because like you said, most people know that ending. Not everyone.
Do you remember what
DVDs.
happens? Like
I remember how he dies, yeah, but I don't remember how he survives. But I did see it, like, because I own the DVD. But I don't remember it, like.
Well, in the ending of the original theatrical, I mean, this has been out for a while, guys, so it's like spoiler alert. But if you've seen it, you've seen it. Like, if you feel like it's been past its prime, but I'm gonna spoil it right here. So if you don't want to hear it, come back in like a couple minutes. He basically has a grenade, right? And he runs at the glass with where the zombies are, and he just commits suicide in order to save the woman and child. And in the other version, he's got the monster creature's wife, or significant woman, she's the queen or whatever, and he ends up wheeling her out, and then the lead monster takes her, and he doesn't kill him because he recognizes that he was trying to help him, and so that's how he escapes, because he gives her back basically. And so it's completely different, right? Than kamikazing, exploding yourself with a grenade. So I don't know how they're going to rewind time and make it make sense. They're probably just going to be like, what really happened. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. It's kind of a strange twist. Maybe they'll just like, it's been such a long time that people will just kind of gloss over it and be like, I don't really remember what the end of I Am Legend is. I think he died, but they'll have to do some sort of flashback.
I guess we'll see when it comes out.
Still a great. Have you seen that movie recently? It's a great movie.
No, not in a while, man. Not in a while. But definitely solid movie. Highly recommend.
One of the saddest scenes of a beloved pet I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, man, that thing hits hard. Hits home. Hits home. I wanted to get into this though, dude. You put Tiana Splash Mountain rebrand, taking shape pictures, dude. I thought this was interesting. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, let me open this link because I had to go through this with you because I want you to get your take on it basically. So if you guys don't know, Splash Mountain basically shut down and they're gonna rebrand it as Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And early on in the project, before they even shut it down, they gave us like concept art of what it's basically gonna be. And if I can zoom in here. Like it was going to be, there's going to be a bunch of bayou and fireflies and the alligators going to be playing the trumpet. And, there's going to be this giant tree from, was it Mama Odie or whatever her name was? She's going to have this giant tree on the top where the peak of the mountain of her Splash Mountains. I was thinking it's going to get repurposed and like turned into a big giant tree. And then her boat's going to be sitting on top of it. And I think my thoughts were that the ride is going to go through kind of the, we'll say hi to Tiana, we'll say hi to all the different characters, and then at the top it's going to be that big musical theme like they have in the movie, right? The doesn't matter what you wish for, doesn't matter what whatever.
It don't matter what you wear,
how many rings you wear on your fingers, we don't care. So that I was excited, right? Because you're going to go through all her boat, and like then at the end it's going to be somehow, I don't know, like triumphant somehow. It's a scary drop. Like how are they gonna keep it?
The drop might end up being part of the Voodoo Man or something. They might like, maybe. What I mean? Like it could be that, but I don't know. That's pretty cool though. I like the little concept art. I really like the what they're trying to do with it. I'll be honest with you. I really don't like that ride. I don't like that drop. And I don't
you don't like Splash Mountain?
No, I don't like getting wet. Dude.
You're like, I don't want to get wet.
But I mean, when this comes out, I'll definitely get on. I love Princess and the Frog. Like we've been watching it recently, me and my daughter and my wife, and we love it, dude. It's a great.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
We keep talking about it because I think they're doing a live action, so that's coming out like sometime soon. Not like this year, but they're working on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when we watch the movie, we're always like, I really hope they do a good job in this part or in this particular thing because it's like I don't want them to ruin it.
Is it going to be like talk? Well, it's going to be talking frogs, so it's going to be hopefully like less Lion King, more Jungle Book, maybe.
Maybe, possibly, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, this is the concept art, but they've actually started to build it. And what I wanted to get into was, so keep this in your mind. This is like what they're promising, and then here's some more concept art. Tiana, this is what they're picturing. And then I think down here they start to have what the actual ride is going to look like. Maybe it's not in here. Tiana Bayou Adventure. And if you go to the images of what's being built currently, it doesn't look anything like the concept art, bro. Look at this.
I mean, they have to change it, but it's coming out this year, right? Like it's coming out this year.
Maybe. Is it?
I thought so, but maybe I misheard.
But why does this look like? This looks nothing like. Where's my tree? Where's the boat? It looks like they skimped out like a bunch. Am I wrong?
No, they're still working on it. It don't matter what it looked like. It doesn't matter how it drops. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I feel like Disney. I was curious to think do you think that this is Disney scaling back a bit, and because people were zooming in on like some of the foliage and stuff and comparing it to the Moana attraction in Orlando and saying like these are the same flowers. Like it doesn't look. This doesn't look like a bayou to me. This looks like tropical. You know what I mean? Like it just
Yeah.
seems odd. And I'm wondering if Disney was just like, oh, we have a bunch of leftover foliage from the Moana attraction. Should we just slap it on
Let's
this?
just bring it over here. I mean, I don't know. That right now they're what did they say they were bringing, or Disney was about to spend 10 billion or something like that on the rides and attractions. So, I mean, they could still do
That's
a lot
true.
with the rides. So it's not like, what
I hope it's
not
good,
like,
bro. I hope it's good.
It's not like what
Uh,
we're getting now is going to be the end game, and they might change and add a lot.
yeah, I hope so, bro. Just that this was the finalized concept art. So like, there's no more boat. Like, there's no more tree.
Yeah.
I'm sad, but
Uh,
I don't know. I like a lot of this. Like they have what's it called? Like a mini scale that you can see it when you go to Disneyland. It's like in one of the glass like case things. You can kind of see like. And then people were taking shots of like the actual area and then what it's gonna turn into to kind of compare. And you can see they made like the alligator out of like pumpkins and squash and stuff. So it looks like
no, that's funny.
look at his little trumpet.
Yeah.
It's clever. Dude, I love like a Disney Imagineering. Oh, look, you can
Well,
see,
there must be a lot
see
of
the
fun,
little
huh?
little bottles. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that's the boat, but I don't know. Oh yeah, there you go. Some little bottles. How is that gonna work though if it gets like really windy or something? Paul's gonna smash. Correct. There you go. That's what I want right there. Look at all those bottles. Guaranteed. All right. So that's that. Let's move along. What do you guys think? Do you guys think they're skipping out? I'm curious to know your thoughts. I'm excited for it either way. I know when we went on the Disney cruise, you were there, right? When we went on the
Yeah.
Tiana's Cafe, I think is what's called.
I forget, but it was her restaurant, and it was like they brought out a girl lady that looked like Tiana, and she was singing.
Oh, it was so much
and
fun. I was into it. I believed. I believe I think we were taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah, we were. I think that's the thing about Disneyland, right? Or like just things in general, like in your imagination. Like the more you put into it, the more you're gonna get out of it. You know what I mean? Like if you're just gonna be those people that are sticklers and they're like, this is lame, like you're not gonna have fun, dude. You know what I mean? Like I think I always tell a story, but me and my wife when we went to the Disney cruise, like we were doing all the dances, and when they would do all this silly little things, we would go do them. And like the people that were sitting, because we didn't all sit together, like we didn't have a family dinner with all the family that was there, like you and Alex. We sat with different people, and those people were like genuinely didn't want to do anything, and they weren't like happy or anything. It was weird. I'm like, why are you
why
even
are
here?
you here? Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on, dude. It's vacation. It's Disney. Come on. But talking about Disney and vacations here, which doesn't even segue, but I want to ask you about this. So we got a sort of narrowed down, they narrowed down two actresses that are gonna be the role. They're gonna play the role of Supergirl in the upcoming Superman Legacy film. And one of them is Millie Alok, and the other one is Meg Donnelly. So Millie Alok is known for House of Dragons. Meg Donnelly is from the Winchesters. Supergirl is expected to debut in the Superman Legacy movie with Henry Cavill. Jeez. Come on, dude. Come on. I'm saying,
from the grave.
From the grave, of course, dude. Sorry, with David Corenswet. So she's supposed to come out and play like a pretty big pivotal role. And apparently James Gunn and Peter Safran were doing a screen test for that particular character. So they're between these two actresses. Now, Jace, I know you've seen House of Dragon. I have not seen Winchesters. Have you seen that?
I don't believe I have. No.
Okay, so I mean, I guess.
Winchesters.
What are your thoughts? I guess.
Oh, the Winchesters is the spinoff of Supernatural, right?
The Winchesters is a spinoff of what?
Supernatural, like the Winchester
know.
family spinoff. I don't think it. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know Supernatural, but I don't know the spinoff or anything like that.
I believe that's what it's from. Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm surprised my wife didn't watch it because she was a big fan of Supernatural. So yeah, I don't know what her acting. This is her, right? Meg Donnelly. Yeah, I don't have any. Is that all she's been in? Sorry, as I try to find out. Meg Donnelly. She was also in. Oh, she did some of the animated work. Is that true? Housewives, Zombies 2, The Winchesters, The Legend of Superhero. Looks like she did.
She's
some
Supergirl in
cartoon
the
work.
Crisis of Infinite Earth. That's pretty cool. Actually, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that, but I mean, I heard it's pretty dope.
That's kind of cool, right? Like getting the this is what he said, right? Remember James Gunn was like the voice actor or the actor of the character was gonna play the voice of the cartoons and stuff too. I
Oh,
believe
that's
that's what he
interesting.
said.
You're so right. Because we're gonna
So
have like a sort of like continuity between all the games, movies, television shows, and all that. So, wow,
right.
that's interesting. So, wow, I think you just nailed it, friend. I mean, they could still do it. I mean, with
Yeah, they could still switch her out because it's not officially launched yet. But
exactly,
if they like her enough in the cartoons, and then that'd be kind of cool, right? Just that's
no, yeah.
a big contract to be the live action, the animated, the video game voice, like the if they do theme park rides, like she's gonna have to do that's crazy. It's bad enough if you're like Tom Hanks, right? With Toy Story, he has to hire his brother to like fill in some of the audio work for like side projects, like smaller projects for Woody. And imagine if you not only you have to do all that audio work, but you also have to act in all the movies too. Like that's crazy. And what if you don't like? What if nobody likes you? You have to really nail the role. Who's your pick, bro? If you had to pick between these two,
I mean, I don't know.
just looking at their face, just kidding.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's from straight from their faces. I
Who
only
looks
know.
more like Supergirl?
Say again. I only
I
know.
was like, who looks more?
who looks more like her? I mean, I only know Millie Alok and her work in House of Dragons. I mean, they could both pull it off. You know what I mean? I think they're both probably great actresses and stuff. But I mean, from the look, it looks like Meg Donnelly looks more like Supergirl, or at least she gives me the vibe of Supergirl more than Millie Alok. But that's from pure look. It's not like they could probably change that, and she'll look even. You know, they could always change her and look like she is Supergirl. You know what I mean? It's just the makeup and change the hair and all that stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for either of them to sort of take the mantle. It's going to be interesting because, like you said, they're going to be coexisting with every other property of like games, movies, television shows, and all that stuff. So it's gonna be a different. It's gonna be a lot more work, definitely. And I think one of them is gonna be able to pull it off. I feel like Millie Alok, because of House of the Dragon's popularity, she might be like, well, I can't actually do this. So, like,
well, she's not. She's aged up. I mean, she's just gonna be in like flashback cameos from now on. Right?
Oh, that's true, huh? That's very true.
Yeah,
you're right.
That was so weird because I really got attached to the younger versions of those characters, and when it switched out, it was very jarring. It's still very jarring. It's like, wait, I want to I thought she was doing a good job. So yeah, I mean, hopefully she does get some flashbacks. Like I still want to see her around. House of the Dragon. I was reading this. It says this is from Superhero Hype, but they're talking to James Gunn. It says Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is going to be based on the 2021 and 2022 DC Comics series of the same name by Tom King and Bakis Everly. He says, we'll see the difference between Superman, who is sent to Earth, raised by loving parents from the time he was an infant, versus Supergirl, raised on a rock with a chip off Krypton, and who watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for 14 years of her life, and then come to Earth. So she's going to have a very different outlook on humanity, right? Like on like the world. So that might be interesting. Superman Legacy is supposed to come out on July 11th, 2025. He's got, oh my gosh, he's got a year and a half. It's a little over, yeah, a little over a year and a half to get this this nailed. He's got to nail it. Ernie, this has to be the best Superman. Like, he
No, this is
cannot.
exciting, bro. I'm really, really excited to see what they do. I mean, I like James Gunn, like we've talked about it before, but I'm curious to hear or see like what they're gonna go for. Right? We've gotten some different iterations of Superman already, and they all have their own sort of like timeline and based on certain comics and all that. And this is like another different take on it. So it's exciting. I just hope they do a good job and it sticks. Not like the Zack Snyder verse, you know what I mean? Where it just didn't really like land and everyone kind of like, not everyone really liked it. So, we'll have to
Also, yeah, I thought you were talking about Rebel Moon. I was like, yeah, that didn't really stick either. Not a lot of people.
No, yeah, that's true. I mean, I haven't watched the whole movie, so wouldn't be able to kind of like, really go into it. But there is a show that I did watch and I really got. I think we both finished and we both got into it. There was a debate for the Master Chief helmet for the show Halo, the TV series
Halo.
that's out, and Paul Schreiber, who plays Master Chief, had made a strong statement regarding the aspect of the show. He was saying that if you don't agree with the helmet coming off the show, you don't like our show. And I think he was insisting that liking the show is incompatible with disliking the decisions to have Master Chief remove his helmet. Sort of like this is the show and this is how it's going to be. Without him not having a helmet, this show wouldn't work. And I think a lot of people, it was very controversial because a lot of people were not necessarily saying it's a bad show. It's not the best, it's good. But I think people were more bothered because it's like Master Chief never takes off his helmet in the video games. And you're able to sort of depict how he's feeling, what's going on, and stuff, and like because the character is you're first person, right, and you start feeling the Master Chief. This one is like they made Pablo Schreiber Master Chief. He's Master Chief. He's like a different iteration of this character, and it's not like kind of like what the original games are like. And I think people feel like some people were kind of bothered about that. I mean, I don't know if you watched the movie Dredd. There was Judge Dredd, the one with Sylvester Stallone years ago, and then they remade Dredd with Carl Urban. Carl Urban does not take off his helmet in that movie, and the movie is fantastic. You know what I mean? And that, like, some people are saying that Paul Schreiber is just trying to have his ego out there. It's like, you need to see me. You know what I mean? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Dude, I have a lot of thoughts because I love Halo. I know you love Halo. The games, the reason why we make such a big deal, and I think that's also a reason why the series rating is so split. I feel like a lot of people either love it and they've gotten on board, or they hate it. Like they tuned out as soon as they started changing stuff, right? I think the reason why Master Chief is supposed to keep his helmet on, it's not quite as similar as the Mandalorian, right? But you feel like when you're playing those games that you are Master Chief, right? Master Chief could be anyone. Master Chief can be you. You just, the way that you play the games, it's like you are put in these situations and you're deciding like the kind of character you want to be in a way, right? He's not Master Chief. Like Pablo, to me, when I watch this series, he's not Master Chief. He's just another soldier. He's just a dude. Like, it's humanized him to the point where he has all these human flaws, and Master Chief is, to me at least, is supposed to be larger than life, right? He's supposed to be this like mythical character almost, where like he's got the coolest tech and he's got the coolest suit. It's a blast to play if you guys never played Halo. But I think I don't personally see him as the Master Chief just because as soon as you take the helmet off and then they put him in these weird situations in the first season, like giving him like weird romance scenes and stuff. I'm like, what? Like, this is not my Master Chief. So
I think Master Chief is, I mean, going off of what you're saying, I think Master Chief is a symbol. Like he's like you see him and people are like, he's hopefulness. He's he's here to save us. It's like this whole thing, but like you said, they humanized him, and I think they
He's got the
tried
code,
to,
right? He's got that code where he's like, I'm gonna go like save you
yeah.
because it's the right thing to do, right? Like we gotta
Mm.
go do this. Like he's
And I think when they changed him in the story, I think it was more for them to create a duality between who Master Chief is and who, um, oh my God, John is, right? That's his real name. I forget. I forget.
oh right.
Right,
There's
John
like the
is
man behind the suit and the man, yeah, like
the
kind
my
of like
mind
Batman.
exactly. So I think they were trying to go based off of that and try to create a story. But I think the liberties they took, some of them are a little harsh. I mean, just the having sex with the freaking a I won't say what it is, but just oh man, it's just like so weird, and it's like that's not Master Chief, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was interesting what Paul Schreiber had said, and um, I wanted to
Don't get me
your
wrong.
thoughts.
I love the action in the show. I love being able to see like the Covenant come to life. I really hope we get to see like. I actually didn't finish the series, so I don't think there's Flood. Is there Flood? I don't even know if we've seen Flood yet. But then like there's the what are they called? The archetypes, like the higher level ones that's in like the third game, I think. And then there's the grunts. Like I love seeing all those characters. It's such a great world that was it Bungie originally built, and now it's
Yeah,
like
that's correct.
I don't remember who's the gaming company now that
Bungie,
took
yeah,
it over.
Bungie.
Is it still
Now
Bungie?
it's
Okay.
343.
Yeah, 343. Yeah. So I mean, I love the world that they've created, but at the same time, I think if I watch it as just a fun sci-fi and not try to think of him as Master Chief, like he's just another hero in this. It's almost like fan fiction in a way.
Yeah. Um, I think we're here at the last topic. One of the last topics that I had for you, and I wanted to discuss. We're talking about the Oscar snubs, who went overlooked this year, and I think that's like a big thing that everyone's talking about. I think the Oscars is like notorious for doing this, and people get pretty angry, right? But I'll go kind of based on some, but notable snub nominations were overlooked, and but we got Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer received multiple nominations, including Best Picture. Martin Scorsese record, I think he had his 10th nomination for Killers of the Flower Moon, surpassing Spielberg. Barbie, Margot Robbie, and Greta Gerwig, despite earlier nominations, missed out on Oscars for whatever reason. They kind of took them off. Ryan Gosling was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Barbie. Margot Robbie was was overlooked for Best Actress for Barbie, which is interesting because I think they did for Best Actress was and I forget her name, America Ferrari,
Ferreira,
right?
I think.
Ferrera. So she's
She's in the supporting role. Oh,
I think she's she's supporting actress. I thought she was they nominated her for something, which is interesting because like Margot Robbie kind of like missed out. Yeah, which is weird because she just did such a great job, and I would think if anyone would deserve anything, it'd be like her. But I guess like people are sort of putting on a lot of clips of America Ferrera saying like this very profound thing about being a woman in this day and age and stuff, and like people love that. Like they love that she delivered that line and all that stuff. So I think that's like a big plus for people. But yeah,
that was written by Greta Gerwig, and she wasn't nominated. Which is
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Who else? Saltburn controversy. Oh,
Yeah, I'll be back, buddy. I'm gonna just keep it going with the Oscar snubs. Let the audience know. I'll be back. All right.
all right. He'll be right back, guys. Leonardo DiCaprio was snubbed for Killers of the Flower Moon. So I didn't see Killers of the Flower Moon. I haven't seen it yet. It's such a long movie that I feel like I need a block of time to sit there and absorb it because I don't think you can watch it in the theaters anymore. I did want to see it, but it's still like a time commitment thing. I don't know what it is about that movie. I feel like I have to sit there and pay attention. I just haven't been able to. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer receives multiple noms. Let's go through the noms. Let's see who. So we got actor in a leading role, which is Bradley Cooper from Maestro. Which, dude, the makeup, I kept seeing the makeup on that thing. It was really good. Haven't seen the movie yet. Coleman Diego for Rustin, which I haven't seen. Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, which I keep hearing The Holdovers is actually really good. I know Ernie had actually watched it. I'm curious if he fell asleep, but he said that it was just okay. But I heard really good things about it. I heard Paul Giamatti's performance is really good. I heard the story is really cool. I'm interested to watch that one, but he got nominated for leading role actor. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, which I think he did a great job, in my opinion. That movie was solely on his performance. Not solely, but he had so much of that movie sitting on his shoulder, like riding on his performance, and I thought he did a great job. Him and Robert Downey Jr., who also got nominated, but he was a supporting role. Robert Downey Jr. Let's go through the supporting roles real quick. Sterling Brown in American Fiction. I really want to see American Fiction. I'm hoping we can go see it tomorrow with my wife. It was one of those screen unseens on AMC, and I was really wanting to watch it with the wife, but we just couldn't do it for that time that it was showing. So I kind of want to see it in theaters. So he got nominated for American Fiction. Robert De Niro got nominated for Killers of the Flower Moon in supporting role. Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. And then actresses, let's just go through the actresses real quick. So we had Annette Bening for Nyad, which I haven't seen. Nyad. I don't know. I don't even know what that's about. Such a strange title. It's the first time I'm hearing it. Do you know Nyad, Ernie?
I don't. It might be one of those like cartoons that we don't know about. I kind of want to look it up, but
Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. We know, she's the wife of Leonardo DiCaprio's character. Sandra Huller for Anatomy of the Fall, which I haven't seen. Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Emma Stone is this. Oh no, this is for leading act. Okay, that makes sense. So Lily Gladstone is the main lead for Killers of the Flower Moon. I thought for some reason, based on the trailer, I thought she was going to be more supporting. But that's cool. And then for the supporting actresses, we have Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, which, yeah, I could see. She didn't do a whole lot, but she was a strong supporting. Danielle Brooks for Color Purple. America Ferrera, like Ernie was saying, for Barbie. Jodie Foster. Oh, Jodie Foster's in Nyad too?
Yeah, I just looked it up. It's like a swimming movie. I've never actually heard of this, but it's one of those, like, I feel like some of these movies kind of like come out and you either watch it or it just kind of like falls on the wayside. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting, but it doesn't look bad.
I gotta ask you for
Go ahead.
Divine Joy Randolph. Or Divine. I don't know how to say his name. Divine. For The Holdovers.
Divine Joy Randolph. You're
Divine
correct.
Joy Randolph. Okay, I said it right. So that's The Holdovers. I was saying, I personally heard a lot of people really like that movie. Like, a lot of people said good things. Like, it's good performances. It's a good story. Like, you were very like lukewarm on it. The audience needs to know, Ernie, did you fall asleep halfway through?
No. I actually watched the full movie. I was able to like not fall asleep. I actually haven't fallen asleep in a movie in quite some time. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a good movie. It's I think, Paul Giamatti should have probably like been I don't know if he's a supporting role in anything. Was he part of anything? I didn't get to see that part, but he's
nominated for lead role.
Yeah, great. Okay, yeah. That's great. Like, he is awesome in that movie. Paul Giamatti is definitely worth the watch. The movie, the way they make it seem is like it's supposed to be a very like comedy, but it gets a little heavy at times. And I think you should check it out. But I mean, I also don't really think you're gonna like it.
Really?
To be quite honest with you, it just gets a little heavier in certain parts, and it just doesn't stay like that comedic, like funny, where it's like a good time or a Christmas movie. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Okay. Interesting. I feel like I need to watch it, but I was telling Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction, dude, I really want to watch American Fiction. I don't know about you, but like, it was one of those AMC screen unseens, and we just couldn't go at that time. I was like, oh shoot, should have gone. It just looks like a fun. It's the one where he's a writer, and they're trying to write a book, and they're like, it doesn't feel black enough, and so he writes
I've never
super
seen
black. You haven't seen the trailer? Oh, dude,
No, I've never seen that.
it looks fun.
I know Jeffrey Wright was nominated, but I didn't know for what it was. Like again, like I want to watch I really want to watch these movies. I think I'm gonna watch most of these movies, not all of them, because I feel like it's too much, and like most of them I probably don't want to see. To be quite honest with you, but.
Yeah, that's. I'm in the same boat this year. I know we were really like into the Oscars last year. We're like, let's make a big deal about it. There's a lot of movies that we wanted to watch, like like a lot of the animated ones. Like I love the animated category. I watched all those. This year, I feel like it's so. All of these movies are very message driven in a way, except for Oppenheimer. It still has a message, but it's not like agenda message. It's very like tale of like a warning or something. I don't know how you'd say it. It's thought provoking, but a lot of these, like with the, I just feel like it's like, do I want to watch this? Like, it seems a lot of these seem preachy in a way. Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers of the Flower Moon. To me, I want to watch it, but I feel like it's a burden, like, because I need to carve out a chunk of time because I know it's such a long movie.
It's like a 3-hour movie or something like that. Right?
Yeah, so it's like I feel like, oh shoot, I have to schedule like a whole afternoon to just watch this movie, and that burden of that task makes it. I just end up passing over it because it's like, oh, it's too much. Like,
it makes it difficult to watch. I heard someone. I think it might have been Lex, friend of the cast, but he was telling us that. I think he was the one that was telling me that. I think his brother saw it and he watched it like in 5 different moments. So it was like spread out because it was so long. And I'm like, Jesus Louise. Like,
so it could have just been a miniseries.
Could have been.
Maybe. Dude, I'm so excited. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is nominated. The movie that I will never see entirely in theaters.
I know, that's so hilarious, dude.
But I did see it. It's good. I like the ending a lot. I'm curious to see the next one. Hopefully it's at that same level. But
I want to say something, because I think can you go down to cinematography, please?
Oh yeah.
So cinematography, I think. Well, I mean, I'm sure all these are great, but I really thought Saltburn was gonna be nominated for cinematography. If you watch that movie, and I maybe it's just me, it's like beautifully shot, man. It's really, really great. And I think it deserves a nod, but I'm not sure why they just took it out. I saw someone say like, this isn't Teen Choice Awards for that movie to be nominated. I was like, what? I was like, did you watch the same movie? Like, I was like, this is pretty heavy, and it's a pretty good movie. But again, that's just me. I just wanted to,
No, I heard this. I heard the same thing. Is like the director has a very unique style, and it draws you in, right? The way everything is shot, and the way he kind of films the house and all the different aspects of it. I heard similar things. I was surprised. I don't know El Conde. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, there's all these movies. I don't even. We should probably not go through all of them, but
yeah. Dude, no, I was waiting for you to get back to the snubs. So I just want to talk about the Margot Robbie Greta Gerwig thing, because it's so funny, right? Because the movie, I don't know, you heard probably people saying this online, but like the movie is all about, it's hard for women, and men take their. It's kind of like the thing from Friends, right? Where it's like, you stealing my thunder, like you're not letting me shine. Like the men are taking it from the women in a way, and the like at the end of Barbie, it's like Ken finds out like he doesn't need the woman, right? He can be his own person, and Barbie goes off and does her own thing, and it's just so funny because the the thing that we walked away with, at least for me, at the end of that movie, was that Ken was great. Like I loved I loved Ken. Like he was a great character, right? Which completely negates the message of the story, which is, you know, women are powerful and the men are just taking advantage and like trying to rule the women and, you know, keep them down and everything. And we walked away like, I really like Ken.
Well,
And
true.
he's the one that gets nominated with non Margot Robbie,
No, which doesn't make sense. I
which just
think
adds to it. Yeah.
I think watching the movie again recently solidified what you just had said, and I think I've said this before. This movie's not for us, like not because we're men or anything like that. It's just it's trying to have an agenda,
it's the message,
and it has a really powerful message, and it's great. Like my wife loved it, and I think like again, I think it's a good movie. Like I recommend it, but it definitely like watching it again. I'm like, oh man, this has a really like this message of just like men are kind of like the reason that everything is happening to women, and it's pretty. I was like,
men
well,
bad,
dang, men bad, and I was like, well, that sucks because like you don't want to hear that you're the reason something's wrong. But again, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I know pretty sure like people are like, well, it is true or whatever, and it's like not for every guy, I'm pretty sure there's some dudes that are douchebags, yeah, but I mean, not everyone's like that, right? But again, I won't get into that. That's like we're not a political podcast. I really don't care. We're just talking about movies here. But I mean, it's interesting that they didn't get nominated for what was probably one of the highest grossing movies of 2023, and I think Margot Robbie does an excellent job. Like watching it again, I'm like, dang, Margot Robbie.
Oh yeah, she did a great job.
She's fantastic. And, obviously, Greta Gerwig, everyone loved the movie, so I'm surprised like her writing didn't get nominated for anything. Like I'm assuming that they were like, well, it's probably going to cause some sort of backlash, so let's not do it or something. I don't know what it is, but it was just interesting. Again, like I said, this movie is probably not for everyone, and just because it did well doesn't mean that it's deserving of these awards. You know what I mean? Like it's like
yeah, it's like Super Mario not getting nominated for Best Animated, right?
Yeah,
like it did really well. Huge, the biggest movie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Barbie. Everyone saw Barbie, and it's just, oftentimes a giant popcorn movie doesn't necessarily get nominated for these type of awards, right? Like it has to be a certain type of movie to get nominated. Even with like the rules changing. Remember we were talking about how you have to fit all these demographics and all this like I don't know how you say it, but it had to fit within a mold in order to just even be considered. Like the cast has to be a certain way.
There has to be like this like a brown person or like a black person. It's like a thing that they have to which sucks because it's
and then the stories have to touch on these points and like it's crazy.
Yeah, and it sucks because that's very true. Like that's written in the thing. It's not like this isn't something made up. Like this is like they have to do that, which, again, I guess it's cool, right? Like they're getting different people. It's not always the same look, but also like, what if they're hiring the wrong person for the job, just based on, oh, you look like this, you are from here, let's do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just, yeah. So it's interesting.
I was reading somebody was saying that now that it's getting to the point where when they go to hire someone, right, they're looking to fill a quota, because if they want to be nominated, right, they have to make sure they include all these, at least 30% of all your actors have to be from this minority role. Like 30% have to be women or LGBTQ or have a disability. And like, so when they're going to cast people or they're going to hire people, it's not enough just to be one of these now. They were saying like, they're interviewing people like, just normal people that do good work is not enough. Like you have to be at least one of them and preferably more than one of them, right? So if you're a woman and you're a woman of color and you have a disability and you happen to be gay, like that's fantastic, right?
It's kind of like the show Echo, right? Like I think that I forget her name, but she's not really an actor, but because she was deaf and she was I think she has. I forget what it's called. She's an amputee, right? I think it's called when you don't have a leg or something.
She has a prosthetic, yeah.
She has a prosthetic leg, and then she was Native American, and it's like it fit like exactly what they needed to be in or something like that. And I was like, that's so interesting because like you read this and then you're like, well, that makes sense why they did that. But it's also like
Yeah.
she's not an actor. Like this is her first role, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think people were saying that, but I haven't watched the show. I've only watched like clips
Yeah, I
of
haven't
it.
watched it.
And
I don't
I'm
want to
just
watch
like,
it.
man, do I really want to get into it for continuity? Probably not. It just does not look good. Like, I saw a clip that just, I was like, wow, I can't believe they did this to Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes,
the guy that plays
dude.
Kingpin. And I was like, why did they do this to him? Like, that's so
Why?
dumb. But
That's not Kingpin.
I'll tell you what I ended up doing. And we'll stop
Okay.
here because what I ended up doing was I went back and watched Daredevil season 3. That's what I'm watching right now. The
Oh,
original,
nice.
the one from Netflix. I'm watching that right
Netflix
now.
version.
I never got to see that one. I just kind of fell off, but I watched everything else. It's just that season I didn't watch. And so I'm watching it right now and I was like, dude, the first episode hooked. I was like, wow,
Oh, wow.
this is great. And I think season 3 is probably not the strongest one, but I just remember thinking like, man, this is good Marvel, dude. This is how I say good. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
It's because we're so starved for the quality content, right? That this the third season, that's the weakest of the 3,
yeah,
right?
It's still
is
much better than what
fantastic
we've got.
because we haven't gotten anything good in a while.
Yeah, it's crazy. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
I just wanted to say one thing. That was I don't know if I told you this is like a conspiracy as to why they cast or why they went down the Echo Road. Was that because she fits so many? This is a conspiracy. I don't know if this is true, but I just want to talk about it because she fits so many of these demographics that she can just cameo or she can just show up in these other movies and they don't have to worry about it, right? Because it's like, quota filled,
man, that's crazy. It's like she'll pop out eating a hot dog and that's fine.
right? And
Like
it's
they will
oh,
never
yeah,
give
well,
her anything else. Like no more, no less. She's just there.
or she could just show up for a team up role and they don't have to worry about casting any of these quotas, right? Like it's just like, oh, she fits so many.
That's so
different.
wild. Because
It's like
from what I
saving them
heard,
time.
also like at the end of the show, I saw someone say that she might gave out that she might be gay, like LGBTQ plus too.
Oh,
So I'm
she
like,
fits
dang,
all
she
the
fits like everything. It's like pretty. Oh wow, that's a pretty crazy conspiracy.
It's,
I mean, not crazy, but it just
it's
kinda, like,
efficient,
fits.
right? It's like an efficient way
Yeah.
of like we don't have to worry about it.
What about
just
this
put her
other
in.
conspiracy that you have here? I think this is our final topic.
Oh,
The
dude.
Kathleen Kennedy conspiracy. Dude, get into this. What's going on here?
Oh my gosh. All right, this is just the thing I want to talk about, and this is conspiracy territory. We don't have proof of this, but I wanted to talk about it. So if you've seen the South Park episode, right? Kathleen Kennedy.
He's all. We don't have proof of it, but it's all these articles about it.
No. Like this is you'll see it when I explain it. So this is the conspiracy, right? The way South Park painted her in this episode, it's become a meme. You see it all over the she's like, put a chick in it, make her lame and gay, and like that's the quote that goes around. It's like it's all Kathleen Kennedy, right? Like she's destroying all the franchises that we love and all this stuff. So that comes out, everybody sees it. It got really like widespread audience. Like it became a meme, right? You see it all over the internet now. And then there was no response from Kathleen Kennedy, right? She was just silent for like months after this came out. No articles were written for her, no nothing. Then people were saying on the internet, like all of a sudden, like there's that Star Wars news, right? With the Rey movie. And then if you Google Kathleen Kennedy now, there's all these articles of Kathleen Kennedy's masterpieces ranked. Learn who is Kathleen Kennedy and why is she in charge of Star Wars? Who is Kathleen Kennedy? What led her to the helm of Star Wars? And then everything in the article is like, we'll never understand why certain pockets of the internet vilify Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy's been the president of Lucasfilm since 2012, and she's been instrumental in bringing some of the most famous franchises back to prominence in the big screen. It's just like not puff pieces, but they're praising her, right? They're saying like she's such a great person, like she's been doing so much for the Star Wars brand, so much for the Indiana Jones brand. You know, like all these beloved franchises that I feel like have kind of like gone run into the ground because they're not good, right? They're not quality like they used to be. But it's just so odd that like all of a sudden, like in the same week, like Gizmodo dropped one, MovieWeb dropped one, and it's like, why are they spinning this up? And I think it's because they just announced the Star Wars movie, right, with Rey. Like Rey's gonna be the lead in the Star Wars, and they're gonna basically do what they did with Marvel, where they're like turning it. Put a chicken in it. And so I just thought it was very interesting that, like, is this Disney doing this? Are they trying to puff her up so that she could like take a more prominent role, or like, I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts, bro? This is like all conspiracy territory, but
I mean, possibly they probably, I don't know. This is the thing, is like, you don't want to say this because it's, this is all, speculation. Like,
it's just
they could have given these publications not money, but some sort of like, you get to watch the movie first sort of deals.
Like entice them in some way, yeah.
Entice them in some way. But you never know. Like, most of these writers could feel what they feel about Kathleen Kennedy. You know what I mean? Like I mean, we talked about this many a times, and I always say this, like, maybe this Star Wars isn't for us anymore, right? It's for the new generation. And I've talked about our nephew who loves like Kylo Ren and Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Like, he loves those movies. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. That's a great way to, come to Star Wars. Like, I'm glad that you love that. Now, go watch A New Hope. You know what I mean? And then he loved those now. You know what I mean? Like, it was a gateway into the world. And I think it gets lost on a lot of people that, I guess, it's they're probably not making as much money, but they're trying to go to this small demographic of people, like, that are like, we want to see a strong female lead take the mantle of Star Wars. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, dude. We've had plenty of strong female leads that were awesome. Like, we always talk about the movie Aliens, some movies with Angelina Jolie.
Tomb Raider,
yeah. Freaking Charlize Theron and freaking Atomic Blonde. Like, there's some great movies. I can't name everything out of the top of my head, but there's some great female role movies out there. And obviously they didn't take the mantle of such a big franchise like Star Wars, but it's there, and there's a recipe for all this stuff. But I think the way that they're handling it, with like trying to vilify men or make it look like Star Wars has always been for the boys, now it's for the girls, kind of thing. It's like, no, Star Wars has always been for everyone. Like, we had Princess Leia, was awesome. Look what you did to her in The Last Jedi. Like, that was ridiculous. Obviously, like, Carrie Fisher, God rest her soul, but you know what I mean? Like, some of that is laughable. Like, when she uses the Force to come back from the space, like, it's laughable. It's like, this is hilarious. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of things that they just kind of like are messing with. And I think that's the problem, is like, they're trying to create something from like nothing. You know what I mean? And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I think they just got to move away from the Skywalkers. Like, I think Rey being her own thing and not being a freaking Rey Skywalker. Oh, it sounds gross saying that, but a Palpatine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, make her do her own thing. Like, at the end, I think, in one particular movie, I think it might be Rise of Skywalker, there's a little boy, and he uses the Force to get the broom, and you're like, wow, the Force is out there. It's more than just a on Skywalkers, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay.
It's for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I call this out, and I mean, even when George Lucas was originally writing Star Wars, he says it, like, when he was being interviewed, that he was crafting it from the mind of a 12-year-old boy, right? he was making this for a 12-year-old who would see something amazing and like, oh my gosh, like going to the cinema and getting that experience, right? So it's for young kids, young boys, right? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I love that he says like it's all about friendships, honesty, trust, doing things right, living on the right side, and avoiding the dark side, right? Those are all things that it's meant to do. And I think we've lost sight of the reason why we love these stories, and we're focusing more on the content within the stories, if that makes sense. It's like the house, not the home, if that makes sense. Like you're looking at the stuff of the house, like it's got the walls, it's got the right color walls, it's got the right furniture in it. That doesn't matter, right? It's a home. The reason why you love it is because it's your home and it represents like these values to you. And I think the reason why I bring it up is because I feel like in the last couple of months since we've taken the break from this show, I've seen a lot of this like culture war being creeped up more and more. And I think we should at least acknowledge it, because I think we're seeing sides crop up where people are tired of like, why are you forcing this message on me? I mean, we've said this for like forever, but I feel like we need to focus more on the stories and the content and not so much on, does this character have this particular race, or does this person meet this certain demographic? And I think that's why when I see Kathleen Kennedy being called out in South Park, or when I see, if it's Disney or whoever it is trying to inflate her image or recorrect the public's view of her image, I just feel like she's focusing on the wrong things. I would want to see a Star Wars that's like you said, even in the Rey sequel, like she hired this activist director that she's going to direct it. It's not about she's not a director. She's just an activist. She's made documentaries, right? But they're doing it because she fits that role of the message that they're trying to tell, and it's not the story. It's not focused on the good writing, and I don't know. I'm going on a rant here, but I feel like there's going to be more of this, I feel, because Disney's lost a lot of money in the last year, and we're probably going to have to end up touching on it at some point. And I'm just the average consumer who loves good stories, right? Like we started watching Reacher, dude. I'm almost through the first season. It's a good story. It's just like focused on telling a good story. And when we get these shows like Echo, I'm like losing interest, right? Like I don't want to go watch it because I don't feel like there's any more story. Like you said, go watch the original Daredevil, compare it. It's light and day, right? It's night and day.
Yeah, even Jessica Jones, Luke Cage,
yeah.
like all those shows, like they I mean, obviously, if we're talking about like the representation, right? Jessica Jones is a woman. Luke Cage, a black man. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's there, and that's good writing. They don't focus on I don't recall him going like, I'm a black man and I live here. Like they don't do anything like that. It's solely based on this character. You know
right.
what I mean? And
it's like, what is he doing? Like, what is it? Why, what does it matter? Like, why do I care about this person? Like, show me what he's doing. It doesn't, like, people can see themselves. I mean, we've said this like a lot of times, even RRR, right? Like I can see myself in RRR. Like I love the brotherhood that they have in that movie. And like, I'm like, dude, I want that. Like I can see myself in that. And it doesn't matter what color or what creed or whatever, right? Like, it's like, the story, what's the message, or not the message, but the content of the story. Anyway, I went on a rant. I just hope that, because I was hearing rumors that they were going to go back to George Lucas's original plan for the sequel trilogy, and they're going to basically turn Rey's character into what
Luke was supposed to be.
Luke was supposed to be, yeah. And it's like, yeah, maybe that'll work.
I saw she's like, I saw a thing with Ray, and I think I gave it to you, but she's like, oh, I saw the story and I thought it was worth telling, and I was like, well, now I'm gonna come back, for the story or whatever, and then I was like, was it that, or was it like
was it the dollar bills? the dollar
Yeah,
bills.
exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's
We'll see.
interesting.
Yeah, I think a lot more people are voicing it online, and you're seeing people are wising up, right? They're like, I watched multiple Star Wars shows and they haven't been that good, or I've watched multiple Marvel shows and they haven't been that good, and it's like, do I want to keep going back to watching these? Like you're saying, the continuity starts to matter less and less if you're like, man, I gotta drudge through this, and like, I don't want to. Like, I'm not excited about it. I'd rather go back and watch Daredevil. I'd rather go back and watch like the original Star Wars or something, right? So, yeah, we gotta keep an eye on it. But
Yeah, go look at the image I posted on our notes. Towards the
exactly.
show it on the. Here it is. That's what they told her. She's like, I heard the story.
Yes, I will take this.
This sounds like a good story, and that's her. I mean, yeah. I mean,
it could be though. Like,
it could be a great story. Honestly, I'm always hopeful. Like again, like we get like we're always like we don't. I don't even know how to explain this, but we're not those people that like have this wholehearted like, man, I freaking hate this and this is what I hate. Like, no.
it's
like,
not like burn them all to the ground. It's
burn
like,
them all.
no, dude,
No. Like, if
I want great
this,
content.
if this is like, let's say they do a great job, yes, dude, I'm down. I'm here. I'm always hopeful, like, because it's something I love, and like, it sucks because it beats us down, right? Like the Marvel stuff. Like, I watched what's the one with Nick Fury, Secret Invasion. It was not very good, dude. But like you said, I went through it and I was just like, man, this isn't good, and it sucks because it's like I'm just watching it because of continuity, and it's like, why am I forcing myself to do that? So now with Echo, I'm like, I don't need to watch this,
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, and that's because I don't want to waste my time. Like so again, like I don't want these things to fail. Like I get nothing out of it. Like I know people are like, oh, we hate Disney and we hate this. I'm like, I don't hate anyone. Like these people don't do anything for me. They ruin like Star Wars, probably a little bit, but like I still have the original stuff. But it's like, you know what I mean? But like I want them to succeed. Like I want them like to do really good. Like why wouldn't I? But yeah,
right. We're like, take my money, make something good. I'll gladly hand it over. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly, man. But yeah, dude, we've come to the end of the episode. Jason, thank you, my friend, for joining me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Thank you to all the friends who have come on to the podcast and listened to us. We will be, posting an episode, or actually doing a live stream every Thursday at 9 p.m. Please join us. I know this is probably one of the first of many, but it's just interesting to stream because it's just a continuous thing. We don't there's no edit. It's just going to be
no stopping. Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting, but it's really cool. I'm excited to see when we start having people like comment and, add their opinion during the cast. But Jason, please send us out.
I just want to thank you. Thank the audience every week. Drop an episode. No, I just want to say thank you guys for joining us on our first of the new year. This I think we're gonna officially call this season 2 because like on what is it, Anchor or whatever, Spotify, like you can choose the season. I feel like we're starting a new fresh take on for the year. Should be fun. I think we'll have a good time. But yeah, if you guys are not doing anything on Thursdays, come join us at 9 p.m. We're gonna try and do a consistent drop of a new episode. And we'd love to talk to you. Love to see what you guys think. Want to see if you completely agree or completely disagree, or maybe there's another take we haven't heard of. Like we're always open to getting new perspectives and trying new things and expanding our horizons, as Ernie says. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Goodbye.
Until then, goodbye. Oh, hey! If you guys stuck around to the end, you guys are the true fans. We appreciate it.
There it is.
Bye, guys.
Bye.